Hey, welcome to the KIDS podcast where we always keep it dope and solid. Man, I appreciate y'all for pulling up on my channel tonight. And if you want to become a kid again, all you got to do is hit that like button, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel, and turn that notification bell on. Let's go. So today, I figured we'd do a little session that I like to call Kids Therapy, where I take real life situations sent in by you, and we talk through them to see if we can come up with a solution. And today, we got some doozies. Now keep in mind, if you want to be featured on a future episode of the Kids Podcast, all you got to do is send your real life story into KIDSPodcastTV at gmail.com. That's KIDSPodcastTV at gmail.com. So go ahead and get comfortable. Lay back on that couch so we can get this therapy session going. Let's go. First session entitled, How Do I Fix This? Big Memphis, what's up, my guy? I got a hell of a situation on my hands and I need your help. 3 years ago, I met the love of my life. You see, at the time, I was your typical playboy, not looking to settle down at all. My best friend and I were pretty much going out every weekend, meeting different women and having the time of our lives. Well, one night, my best friend meets a very attractive young woman. For the sake of being anonymous, let's just call her T. And T was about a 7 out of 10. Very cute, very nice body, and most importantly, great personality. I like that. You put great personality most important. My best friend goes home with her that night but says nothing really happened, that they just kissed and he sucked a boob or two. Well, a few weeks later, my best friend meets another young woman. Let's just call her Q, who's about a 9 out of 10, and damn near he instantly falls in love with her. Just so happens that Q is T's older sister. And by the time they realized that, it was already too late, if you know what I mean. I know exactly what you mean. But I doubt that they would have stopped talking anyway. Well, from being around my best friend, I started dating Q and T's other sister. Let's just call her K. And K is a certified 10 out of 10 in every way. She's gorgeous and is super humble and down to earth. Don't you love when that happens? There was just one problem though. Q had just gotten out of a long-term relationship and basically told me that there was a chance that her and her ex may work things out, so I should keep my feelings out of it, and I did just that. Well, about 3 months into it, her and her ex ended up working things out, and honestly, I was a little hurt behind it, but not heartbroken, because she was honest with me and told me that there was a chance that this could happen. We went from talking every day to not talking at all, and I went from seeing just her back to my playboy ways. Well, one night I had a fight party at my house where I invited pretty much everyone, including her and her man. Of course, she didn't show, but her sisters did. After the party, the sister T stayed behind to help me clean, which didn't appear odd at all because she was always the type to help out whenever she could. Please tell me you ain't about to tell me what I think you about to tell me. Well, I'm sure you know what comes next. One thing led to another. I ended up sleeping with T. Wow, how did I know? The sister of the woman that I now love. Now that I think about it, I kind of feel like she slept with me because her other sister took a man that she was interested in. Even though it's a different sister, I think I was a pawn in her little game. About a month later, Kay calls me and tells me that her and her boyfriend were permanently breaking up because she had fallen in love with me and couldn't see him the same. She said that she couldn't get me off of her mind and she really wanted to be with me. I almost didn't do it knowing I had slept with her sister, but honestly, she was the best girl I had ever dated and I really wanted to see where it could go. I had no way of knowing that I would fall in love with her. So fast forward 2 years and I'm madly in love with Kay and had to tell her what I had done with her sister 2 years earlier. Of course she was upset. She didn't talk to me for over 2 weeks and I thought for sure that it was over, but she eventually called and said she wanted to work things out. Of course, I was super happy to hear this, but ever since we decided to work it out, she keeps throwing it in my face every chance she gets. She doesn't even want me around her sisters, and I tried explaining to her that although I could have smashed as many times as I wanted, that it only happened once, and that was before I had fallen in love with her. What the hell is wrong with you? You did not say that to this woman. I told her that it was her that left me to go back to her ex. So what was I supposed to do? Sit around and wait on her? Bro, are you crazy? Now I feel like my relationship is in jeopardy. You think? And I don't want to lose her. What should I do, Big Memphis? How do I get her to forgive me? Bruh, first of all, what the hell is going on here? You and T and K and Elemental P, man, y'all all over the place. Everybody's sleeping with everybody like a big circle jerk, fucking soup kitchen or something. Bro, are y'all out of y'all mind? But here's what I see. I see a woman who was considerate enough to tell you to protect yourself by not falling in love with her in the beginning, because there was a chance that she may work things out with her ex and she didn't want you getting heartbroken. And I see a man who didn't protect her at all. You waited 2 years to tell her that you had slept with her sister. 2 years. The hell is wrong with you? I see a woman who was loyal enough not to deal with you while she was with her ex, and loyal enough not to deal with her ex while she was with you. I see a woman who clearly communicated her intentions with everybody involved from the get-go. But a man who wasn't loyal to anyone but himself, and a man who didn't communicate anything until it was convenient for you. You don't love her, you love you. I see a woman who was protecting everybody around her while she got no protection. But here's what you should have done. Number one, you definitely shouldn't have slept with her sister. There's over 4 billion women in this world, and you claim to be some type of a playboy. So what you should have done is, after the sister got you all hot and bothered, you should have dismissed her and called another jump off to come through and finish you off. Or worst case scenario, and I do mean absolutely worst case scenario, is you be honest with her up front and tell her the day that she called and told you that she wanted to work things out, or even before that. You should have told her then that there was something that she needed to know first, not wait 2 years, my boy. But here's the last thing you should do. Gaslight that woman by telling her that it was her that left you for her ex, and what was you supposed to do, sit around and wait on her? No, what you were supposed to do is leave Tits McGee where she was at and not bang her out to the sounds of MMA replaying on the TV. You were supposed to sleep with anybody else in the world but somebody close to her. How would you feel if she smashed your brother? You probably wouldn't have had 2 words to say to that woman, but you want to criticize how she reacted to being heartbroken. And you definitely wasn't supposed to tell her that you could have smashed more than once, patting yourself on the back like, yeah, I'm a good guy because I could have smashed more than once, but I'm not. I didn't smash more than once, so that must mean I'm a good guy because I only hit the one person in the world that I shouldn't have one time. What you think that does to that woman's trust and insecurities? Talking about she don't want you around her sisters. Hell, I wouldn't want you around my sisters either. Horny bastard. See, here's the thing. You're a gaslighter. You gaslit everybody in the situation, including me, giving me some long drawn out story about how your homeboy sucked on some titties, trying to paint T out to be the bad person in this situation. And don't get me wrong, she definitely ain't right. But the most fucked up person in this situation is you, my friend. So, K, whoever you are, if you ever see this, run away from him and run fast. This dude is displaying true narcissistic tendencies, and it's only gonna get worse. Here's the truth. You're never gonna get over the fact that he slept with your sister, and you shouldn't. You should be allowed to feel however the hell you want to feel about it without no gaslighting from him. And if you truly do want to forgive him for what he did, then I commend you for that. But 2 things. Number 1, forgiveness should never make a fool out of you. And number 2, you can forgive him, but still move on with your life. Forgiving him does not mean that you have to stay with him. So in short, you can forgive him and still go out there and find the man that God truly has for you. Or, I'm sorry, let me say this. Let that man find you. But he'll never find you as long as you preoccupied with tricky dick over there. So let it go. And if you like big light-skinned men, give me a holler. All right. Kids Therapy number 2, entitled, I Slapped My Homeboy's Dad. I can't wait to hear this one. Big Memphis, what up, Brody? Man, I got a situation I need some advice on. A few months ago, I went out for a night on the town. Me and a few of my friends decided we would go club hopping. After going into 2 other clubs, we found the perfect vibe at a little club downtown. While drinking and dancing, we ended up meeting a few young ladies, one of which was pressing me hard. Don't you love when that happens? She made it clear to me and everyone else that she was leaving with me, and shorty was bad, so I didn't mind it at all. Well, as we were walking out of the door to leave, she was a few steps ahead of me, and another guy walked up to her and attempted his shot. I've never been a hater, and considering I had just met the girl, I let the young man do what he do. Well, after about a 30-second conversation, I couldn't hear what she said, but I clearly saw her turn around and point back at me, letting the dude know that she was with me. He walked away with a look of disappointment as she made her way back to me. She grabbed my hand and said, "Why didn't you say anything when that dude tried to get my number?" I responded, "Hell, I didn't know what he was trying to do. Besides, you don't belong to me, so you're free to do whatever you want." She responded by saying, "I am doing what I want. I'm with you." Made me feel all important and shit. By this time, we're outside the front door of the club, and I'm intensely searching for food. I noticed a little street vendor about a block away selling tacos. I asked her if she wanted some tacos, and she excitedly said, "Hell yeah." We make our way over to the taco stand, and she sits down at a little stool set up outside, and I get in line to get our tacos. Well, as I'm standing in line talking to my homeboy, an older gentleman walks up to the young lady, still sitting at the stool. He leans over and starts whispering directly in her ear. She looks up at me and clearly gives me the look to do what she had asked me to do about 15 minutes earlier. So I asked my homeboy to save my spot in line, and I approached the gentleman who was still violating this young lady's personal space. I politely tell him, "Hey man, we appreciate the attention, but she's with me." I could tell that the man was a little drunk. He looked at me and laughed and started cracking jokes loudly where everyone could hear him. I mean, none of his jokes were really funny, and he probably picked the worst possible criteria to battle with me on. I mean, I'm not bragging or nothing, but I can play the dozens with the best of them. So naturally, I started joking back, and you could literally see his spirit fade from his body as everyone in the crowd laughed at all of my jokes, but none of his. And after I told the taco man to season his tacos with some metal mucil so his old ass wouldn't get constipated after eating so late, he got disrespectful. That's a good one. He loudly said, "Man, fuck you. I'm not here for you anyway. I'm here for her," and resumed his position, leaned over her, speaking directly in her ear. I told him, "Now you getting disrespectful. I'm going to ask you one time nicely to move along with your night." He tested me. He rose up and said, "I ain't moving along with shit. You got me fucked." And before he could finish his sentence, pow, I open hand smacked the shit out of him. Literally. I think he actually pooted. As he stood there holding his jaw with his mouth wide open, and after the crowd finished oohing and ahhing, you could hear most of the people out there saying that he deserved it. He picked up what was left of his pride and scurried back to wherever he came from. Needless to say, shorty went crazy on me that night. Probably the best sex I ever had. She told me she was turned on by feeling so protected. Well, about 2 weeks later, I'm sitting in the barbershop and in comes the old man. Right behind him is one of my homeboys. They sit down in a row of chairs across from me as I'm sitting in the chair getting my hair cut. I could see the man whispering to my homeboy and pointing at me. My homeboy jumps up and yells in the barbershop, "Yo, you put your hands on my daddy?" The whole shop stopped, wondering what the hell he was talking about. I stood up and said, "Yeah, your daddy played with me in a way he shouldn't have, and he know it. So tell him if he gonna tell you something, to tell you the whole story." My homeboy responded, "Nigga, I don't give a fuck about no story. Nigga, you hit my daddy." I told my homeboy, "No disrespect, but that's the same tone that got your daddy slapped. Now I'm trying to be respectful, but y'all making it a little too difficult. I see a wedding ring over there on your daddy's hand, which means he probably still married to your mama. And I probably saved her some embarrassment by slapping his horny ass. Now I'm gonna tell you, like I told your daddy, I'm not gonna do all this talking. If you wanna do something about it, I'm all for that. But we cool and I respect you. So if you wanna talk about it, then we can do that too." Well, I'm a pretty big guy, and my homeboy know how I'm coming, so needless to say, he sat his ass right back down. But after the encounter, I kind of felt bad for slapping up his daddy. What should I do? Should I apologize for getting physical with my homeboy's pops? I definitely would have handled it way differently if I would have known it was his dad. What do you think, Big Memphis? Wait a minute, wait. Seriously, bro, you handled that exactly how you should have. Hell no, don't apologize to his daddy. Hell, his daddy need to be apologizing to his mama. You gave him every warning that he deserved. You see, a real man would have took that and moved along with his night. You know what, ma'am? Thank you. Just like the first man did. Keep that in mind. You see, a real man would have shown you the same respect that you showed him. My bad, bro. Didn't mean no disrespect. Ain't trying to step on your toes. Let me move along. But Uncle Daddy over there obviously had some do-it fluid and felt tough. Now, I'm not condoning violence on this channel in no way, shape, form, or fashion. But sometimes you gotta slap some sense into these dudes. Some of these dudes are really clueless on how to treat other people. And honestly, if we being real, your homeboy owes you a thank you. Because one man's slap can be another man's bully. There are some dudes out there that'll unalive your ass real quick for playing with them about their woman. So on top of that, he disrespected two women, one of which was your homeboy's mama, and a man that night. So it sounded like he needed a lesson in manners, and your slap was exactly the remedy. Also, bro, it really don't matter that you had just met that girl, because to be real with you, more of us need to start speaking up in situations like that, or they'll continue to get worse like they have been. You see, it's some men out there that feel entitled to a woman. They feel entitled to her conversation. They feel entitled to her time. They feel entitled to her body. And they think just because they walk up and want somebody, that woman is automatically supposed to want them back. Him violating her personal space like that is assault, especially after she told him no. See, here's where men get confused. If a woman says no, it doesn't matter how lighthearted that no is. No means no. And anything beyond that is considered assault. And it's going to take more of us standing up in situations like that to get rid of that issue. So you handled that exactly how you were supposed to. And here's something else. If somebody would have been all over his wife like that, I guarantee you he would have lost his mind. See, a lot of us, we want to make excuses when it's another woman. But if it was our mama or daughter or auntie or sister, then we would want somebody to intervene on our behalf if we wasn't there. So what we got to do is we got to start treating other people's mothers, sisters, and daughters and aunties like they are our own. We got to start stepping up and intervening. We got to start putting these dudes in check. It's on us to police us. All right, y'all, that's all we got today from the KIDS podcast, where we always keep it dope and solid. Once again, I appreciate y'all for tapping in today. Don't forget to like, comment, share this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on that notification bell. I'm out of here. And until next time, we some badass kids. Peace.